I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Hey, this is Matt once again. What about another review? This is one of quite a few Patreon reviews for Felix. Since he got one of the higher tiers on my Patreon, he'll do a couple reviews. Thank you so much for that. If anyone wants to request any type of review, re-review, topic, reaction, pretty much any type of video, you just send your request either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Now, some of the reviews that Felix wanted were for Shrek 2, 3, and 4. And it'll be a bit darker lighting, but the frame rate will be a little bit smoother with this way. Sorry that. But it's like, oh, why is this in HD? It's me, my face, and my beard. I don't know if you need to see beards in HD. Anyway, can you get to the review? Sure, why not? Shrek 2, it's funny because a couple times in the past I've mentioned that I'm not really a big Shrek guy. And then I'm trying to realize, after rewatching these, I was remembering more the third and fourth film, which I'm really not a fan of. Because when I rewatched the first two Shrek films, while they're not my favorites of all time, and they're not films I rewatch over and over again, Shrek 1 and 2 are pretty decent films on their own. To be fair and to be honest, they are pretty decent films. I reviewed the first Shrek. Don't worry, I'll get to Shrek 3 and 4, Felix, but Shrek 2 is a pretty good sequel. It does world building, it builds up more of the story, the land that this movie takes place in. It builds up some of the characters, introduces some interesting characters. You have a story that doesn't just repeat itself, different locations. The story in this film is, okay, Shrek and Fiona, they fall in love, they're together, they've gotten married. Now they're going to meet Fiona, Cameron Diaz's parents. And then they gotta go to the land far, far away in order to do so. And once again, like the first film, at least the film does have a bit of heart to it. At least this seems like there's a point to the story where Shrek is, hey, I love her. Maybe it would be best if she could be human, and either I be human, and then she won't be mocked, and she won't be laughed at, she won't be ostracized. But Cameron Diaz say, hey, I love you for who you are. It has a decent message to the story. And like I said, there's some fun characters in this. What I liked is they use a little bit more of the fairy tale characters, which you see a little bit in the first movie, but here you get to see a bit more of the Pinocchio character and the gingerbread man, and I thought the finale here was a lot more satisfying than the finale of this first one. Because the finale of the first one is pretty much Shrek goes in with the dragon eats the bad guy, the end. I'm like, wow, that seemed rather quick. Here's a bit more to it, where there's a giant gingerbread man, and while the fairy godmother's, I almost said fairy godfather. It'd be like someone with wings doing a bad Marlon Brando impersonation. No, a fairy godmother singing "I Need a Hero," which I like that song. Even if it's this remixed cover of it, but I do like that song. First time I heard it, I would say had to be Short Circuit 2. Dante is still a bit annoying. I've never been a big fan, but I don't know, here he seemed a little less annoying compared to the first film. And when he's annoying, he's supposed to be annoying the characters. So I don't know, for some reason in this I could tolerate Dante, Eddie Murphy's role, a little bit more. And there were moments that made me smirk. The opening montage when the two characters are kissing and the waves come up, and then when the waves recede, there's the Little Mermaid, Ariel. It fucking looks like her. And Cameron Diaz gets pissed and throws her away because it's kissing her man, or her ogre. And it looked like threw her into a fucking group of sharks. The way it's edited when they're having dinner and Shrek and the father, voiced by John Cleese, they keep breaking stuff, and even like they're breaking crackers and they're breaking this to show the rising tension between these two. I thought that was a rather clever edit. When the father, John Cleese, is looking for an assassin, he's in this bar and you see two trees doing arm wrestling and one breaks the other's branch. I thought that was a kind of clever visual gag. And you introduce the father, Cameron Diaz's character, voiced by John Cleese, the mother, voiced by Julie Andrews, Mary Poppins herself. Thought that was rather cool. And of course, Antonio Banderas as Puss in Boots. I either grew to like that character, thought that was a nice addition. How it could be very cute and his sad eyes to get people to do what he wants. And of course, a little take on Zorro, which Antonio played in The Mask of Zorro and The Legend of Zorro. So I thought that was a fun little addition to it. And how even Shrek would think he was good. Oh, look at him in his wee little boots. Oh, he's purring, he's purring. So even Shrek got to his Puss in Boots charms as a cat. Because I'm a cat guy as well, so I'm a sucker for that. So that's one of the better additions. That was fun to see that character. I thought the actress that voiced the fairy godmother did a good job. You know, the stories that she has her son, which is Prince Charming, voiced by Rupert Everett. And the deal was that, hey, my son was supposed to save your daughter, and then he would reign king. And John Cleese like, hey, it's not my fault you got there too late. Meanwhile, Shrek realizes that, hey, Fiona, when she was trapped in that tower, she wanted a Prince Charming. And Shrek is like, well, maybe that's what she truly wants deep down. One thing leads to another, he's able to drink this potion and be human. And then Dante's able to drink the potion and be a stallion. I thought that was a nice contrast to see Shrek always hated, always disgusted by the crowd and by the people. Now he's loved and women adore him, and yeah, I thought it was a nice contrast. It didn't feel like just repeated upon repeated gags of the first film. So in a way, it does what a sequel should. It builds a little bit on the world, it's its own story, but it still keeps the characters, still keeps the heart, still keeps the tone of the first film. And like I said, there was some clever stuff when the characters are watching TV and they're watching a show that's a la Cops, but it's called Knights. And, oh my god, he's got catnip. And Antonio Banderas is like, hey, that's not mine. And I always forget just how some of the adult the jokes are in these movies. Like Pinocchio, you find out he wears women's underwear. Granted, that's not a bit of info I needed to know, that Pinocchio wears women's underwear, but I know now. Other gags. Oh, the giant gingerbread man. Wow, Shrek is, hey, go over here, we gotta arrest you. The gingerbread man stops to grab a giant fucking cup of, it's Starbucks. I think it's called like Farbucks or something else here, but it's a Starbucks coffee. I drive part of me is like, well, that's product placement, but it was a clever visual gag. And like I said, the ending, there's a bit more to it. This is the battle into the castle, and he's got the giant gingerbread man, and then it felt like more of a battle with the fairy godmother. Well, it wasn't a big battle, but it felt like there's a little, at least a little bit more compared to the first film. No, you didn't need the fucking fart jokes. I don't know what is it with this series and fart jokes. Like when he drinks the potion, he has his big farts, and even Donkey goes, oh, maybe grab the I don't know, Trek, maybe you grab the farty ever after potion. You know, I'm just not a guy that's into fart jokes. I've never been into fart jokes. I never will be into fart jokes, so I think you don't need that stupid shit. I don't know, I didn't really have a lot of issues with this. And I might have liked this a little bit more than the first Shrek, because I like the additions of the Puss in Boots character, and you got to see a bit more of the fairy tale land, and a bit more of the, I wouldn't say there's more screen time with the magical characters, but so I wouldn't say that, but I guess because they're introduced, they worked into more of the plot in this. Because in the first film, they just stayed at Shrek's place and Shrek did the shit himself. Here, they actually did help him at the end. You know, they helped rescue him, they helped get into the fucking place. Maybe it would have been nice if there's a bit more of a battle. Well, actually there is. Not to be fair, because Puss in Boots does get a moment where he fights the guards, that was cool. And then Donkey's able to jump over them and prove himself as a steed. And like I said, it was a nice song choice to have I Need a Hero, because like I said, always enjoyed that song ever since I heard it in Short Circuit 2. As a John Cleese, I thought they did a nice job with his character, because yeah, he came off at first as a one-dimensional, oh, he's a father, doesn't like this guy, Shrek. But you realize he wants what's best for his daughter, and he does the right thing at the end, and any animosity the viewer may have on the character goes away, because he does stand by his daughter, he does do the right thing. He even helps technically his son-in-law Shrek, he does help him because he takes a hit that was meant for Shrek. So, I like that John Cleese's character, they gave him enough stuff to make us go, okay, we forgive him, he's alright. Some movies and some screenplays do not do that. Or they don't do that enough. Here I thought they did that fairly well. So yeah, I probably would say I would like this a bit more than the first one, watching it again. Because like I said, I thought the finale was a bit better. The introduction of the characters. the new characters worked well with the story. Again, it's a sequel that built on the original, but then just copy and pasted. It didn't feel lazy. It felt like there was some fresh, clever ideas. So yeah, overall I would say Shrek 2 was actually pretty decent. And again, I think one of the reasons why, well, number one, because people always kept talking about Shrek. I'm like, well, there's other animated, CG films I enjoy more. But to be fair, the first two Shrek films I think are good. It's the next two I'm not really a fan of. I'll get to those in a minute, but... Oh, and then you find out that Donkey is a father and has these weird dragon donkey babies. It's not something you see every day, and I don't know how the fuck, that worked, but maybe we don't need... Some things are left... Well, you know what? Don't even imagine it. Just don't worry about it. It just happened. With that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.